Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Tuesday show. It is just me today, but don't click out of this video yet because I am going to give you a good show. I've got a lot of good topics. First off, we are, of course, going to talk about the return of Candace Owens. She is back. It's sad that we have to talk about this on a day that Suni's not here because she has been waiting for her to get back. Really, she's been waiting for her to spill the tea. But I did watch her first full episode. I've watched now 2 episodes of her show. And I'm here to report on what was talked about, but also I'm here to tell you about a little spy that's been watching Candace that has been sent by the Daily Wire. And Candace Owens called this person out in public to show her face. I swear to you, Ben is like that boyfriend that just won't quit you. We're also going to talk about Hunter Biden. If you haven't heard, he has been convicted on all the federal gun charges. In his court case, the question now hangs in the balance on what his sentence will be. Will his dad pardon him or will Trump pardon him? That is the question at hand. And we're going to talk about that because I do have some theories. We also have a Mo is right moment that I'm going to slip in there because Suni's not here. So I get to gloat about that. J-Lo. I was flabbergasted when I saw this post today, but believe it or not, there is a rumor going around that J-Lo is going to be the person to honor Whitney Houston and her extensive catalog of songs at the Grammys because she feels that her voice matches Whitney's the most. All right. So we'll talk about that. I do have some information to share about that. Also, Kevin Spacey. I'm not a big Kevin Spacey fan. Well, House of Cards, I did enjoy that show. But I saw a clip of him on the Piers Morgan show and he was crying. And we're going to talk about that. I have the clip, I have the information, and we're going to talk about that. Kevin Spacey has been, in the news quite a bit because of some allegations that have been put against him a while back, nevertheless, but he was crying about the effects that those allegations have had over his life. So we're also going to talk about Uvalde, the Uvalde families that were the families of the children that were shot and killed at the Uvalde school in Uvalde, Texas. Ben said Uvalde 100 times. They're suing UPS. They are suing UPS. Okay. And when I saw what they're suing UPS for, I couldn't believe it. But I am going to share that with you guys so that we can talk about it a little bit. I'm going to read an article. We're going to dive into it a little bit deeper so I can really understand what this lawsuit is really about. And we're just going to keep highlighting how corrupt the city of Atlanta is. Okay. Like it just gets worse and worse and worse. I feel like the city of Atlanta, more so the, what's that county that Fannie Willis is part of? I feel like they just need to like burn that place to the ground. Okay. Because it is full of nothing but corruption, from the judges to the people to the police. I mean, it is just ridiculous. And I'll tell you the story there because there's a new one. This is not about Fannie Willis. And I was also very excited to see the American College of Pediatricians calling out the medical community over them pushing the trans agenda. Finally, right? Finally. But the question is, why now? Why not a long time ago? How come all of a sudden you have just now realized that this is not good for our children? So we're going to look into that. And I could not believe what I saw. Nikki Haley, she's a demon. She's a demon, and I have the pictures to prove it. I'm going to share them with you, and I'm not even joking. She is a legit demon. And last but not least, we'll do a short little segment on Marjorie Taylor Green, her making some statement that she worships Trump like she worships Jesus. Okay. She is everything that is wrong with the Republican Party. All right, guys. So I gave you a lot of topics. I'm sure there'll be more because I always have some funny stuff here and there. Oh, I do have some funny stuff. I have a show recommendation I'm going to share with you guys. And I searched high and low for a clip of this show that I could put here on YouTube because this show is so outrageous. I could not show you a normal clip. So we're going to talk about this. I say it's a recommendation, but I know how you guys on this, you guys, I love you guys, but you guys are a little prudish sometimes. And when I recommend stuff to you, you're just like, oh my God, that's not very Christian of you and blah, 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 whatever. Okay. You got to see this show. It's outrageous. We'll talk about it and then we'll talk about a whole lot more. But please, before we start the show officially, please, please, please hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I know that Suni's not here today, but while the credits are rolling, make sure you tell her happy birthday. Today is Suni Blanks' today's her happy birthday. Today is her birthday. And although she's not here, I want everybody to wish her a very happy birthday. I'm sure she's somewhere in the comments stalking me because just like Ben Shapiro can't quit Candace Owens, Suni Blanks can't quit Mo. All right, guys. So I'm going to roll the credits. You guys drop the comment. Happy birthday, Suni. Let me know where you're watching from. And the show starts now.
You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Suni and Mo.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, Don on the beat.
Hey, I got so many ups.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ups. I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
All right, we are back. Well, I am back. Solo. I'm back solo. I will be posting the link if anybody wants to join me, but I want to try to get through some of these topics and then I'll bring you guys in for commentary a little bit later on in the show. I see we have Marlandon in here. Hopefully he hasn't left because I know he is a Suni follower more than a Mo follower. I see Leslie. She says hello. I see Konika. Marjorie Taylor Green did not say that. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm here to fact check myself as well. So if I'm wrong, I will definitely admit to it. I see Carly in here. Leslie says, what about Bob DeZero? I don't know who Bob DeZero is. I see Yakini in here. Hey, Yakini, what's up? Donald says, happy birthday, Suni Blanks from Indiana. Christine is here. What's up, Christine? Charlie's here. What's up, Charlie? All right, cool. Y'all keep giving Suni a happy birthday. Marjorie Taylor Green's going to be the last thing that I hit tonight because she's the least interesting to look at, in the words of Kourtney Kardashian. And she's just, I mean, it's just that. She just says stuff. Honestly, it was not hard to believe that she said something like that. So, I mean, whether she said it or not, I still don't like the woman. I can't stand her, actually. All right. Kanika says, happy birthday, Suni. Captain Testosterone. Good for you. You might like my show recommendation, Captain Testosterone, that I have. Maybe you'll talk about that first, just to kind of get a little bit of fun to warm you guys up. Let me see if I can pull up the, oh, I know where it's at because I sent it to Suni yesterday. I am trying to get Suni to watch this show, but you guys know Suni, like she doesn't like, I don't want to spoil what this is about. Like, I want you guys to just see this. Did she delete it? Oh no, she didn't delete it. Okay. I want you guys to see this first, but I'll explain it. Before we get into it, but it's going to be difficult for me to get Suni to watch this show, and you guys are going to know why when you see the and no, it has nothing to do with drag queens, but you're going to know why when you see the preview for it. Marlandon says, oh Lord, Suni is a Gemini. That explains. Oh, Marlandon. Oh, I almost forgot. See what happens when it's just me? I forget to do things because I'm here running the board by myself. Okay. But you guys who are new here, I see a lot of new names. Marlandon is a longtime listener. He's here every time we do a show and he has his own theme song. Okay. Marlandon's part of the Big Back Club. I am part of the Big Back Club. Those are people that love food, love to eat. Okay. And you may physically have a big back or you just may have big back tendencies. Okay. But we have a song from our Landon, so I'm going to roll that song really quick while I get this other clip ready for you.
Big bag, big bag, big bag, big bag. Yeah, my bag is loaded up with snacks and different foods. Squeeze into this tiny shirt, my big bag has no room. Big bag, 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 big bag.
All right, got that out of the way. Welcome to all the big bags in the building. All righty. Okay, so the show that I want to recommend to you guys, if you have actually, you don't need to have HBO Max, but that's what it's on. You can actually find this on YouTube, okay? So if you dare, and after the show, go onto YouTube and search the name of the show up, which I will give you in just a second, okay? You need to watch it. You need to watch it, okay? Number one, for the shock of it all. I understand that when I tell you what this is about, when I show you what this is about, you're going to be like, oh, hell no, because that's what I said, okay? But give it a chance. Because if you're into social type experiments, and understanding the way men think, the way women think, the way the whole attraction thing goes, this show can actually be pretty interesting. And they actually do like kind of sprinkle in some like scientific facts in the whole process of the show. But this is a dating show, but it's a dating show like you have never ever seen before. And the reason why it's able to be so different from any other show that you've seen before is because it is filmed in the UK. Okay. So that means that there's a lot less rules around things like nudity. Okay. Yes, I said nudity. You're going to understand why. But this show is a dating show. And rather than a one person kind of like interviewing a panel of men or women and seeing who is the better fit for them by asking them questions, this show is actually done completely in the nude. And when I say completely done in the nude, there are no blurs, okay? Everything is shown. There are even sometimes things that the people have to do, nothing like sexual or nothing pornographic, okay? They are literally doing a dating show, but doing it naked. Now, the person that's choosing the person has their clothes on initially, but after they whittle down the group of people from, I think it's like 6 to half of that, which is 3, then the person who is choosing has to also take off their clothes. Okay. So both people see themselves naked. Okay. Now, why this is interesting is that we all have very different bodies. Okay. You get to really see how clothes can really play a trick on one's eyes, or seeing somebody with clothes can really play a trick on your eyes. They might look better. You know how sometimes like when you see a guy with their sunglasses on and they're really fine, right? And then they take their sunglasses on and they have bug eyes, okay? Like it's like that type of thing, okay? So they do show these people with clothes on at the end, but what? It's not your birthday. You're so dumb, Suni. Suni, get the hell off this page. Get the hell off this page, okay? Never mind, y'all. I want everybody in the comment section to take back say, I reject the happy birthday, okay? Suni's a damn liar. See, this is why you can't trust Suni. Get off my show, Suni. Anyways, we done with her. Okay, so back to the show. So you do eventually see these people with their clothes on, and then you're like, oh, like that's interesting, right? Because then you get to see like, with clothes on, do they kind of fit the other person, right? And then these people go out on a date, and then either it works out or it doesn't. Okay. So I'm about to roll the preview for you guys. Hold on one second. It's playing in my ear, and I don't want it to play in my ear. Okay. So the name of the show, if I didn't mention it before, is Naked Attraction. Okay. So I'm going to show this preview. This preview has all the parts blurred out. So you guys aren't going to see, but use your imagination if you want to use your imagination. Now, if you actually watch the show, you're going to see the full parts. Now, I'm going to warn you, because this is in the UK, I would say 95, if not more, % of the men are not circumcised. Okay. So just keep that in mind, because like some people might be like, well, ew, that's gross. But understand that in some cultures and in some countries, they just don't circumcise. So that's the majority of what you're going to see is uncircumcised penises. Now, an interesting thing about this, since everybody is naked, nobody has like any type of signs of arousal while you're watching the show. So like these people aren't looking at God, like the women aren't looking at guys with like erect penises. Okay. They're completely soft. But there are times when it's naked women and a guy choosing. There's also times when there's a person who doesn't mind what sex they're dating. And so they have a mixture of both. So I'm just telling you, that's what it is. Okay. Suni, shut up, Suni. Get off the page. All right. Now she's got to watch this preview. Okay. So here you guys are. This is the Naked Attraction trailer.
Game. Welcome to Naked Attraction, the dating show that likes to let it all hang out.
Can picking a partner based solely on natural beauty help you find the one?
Bring it on.
When we're entirely unfiltered, what do men and women really find attractive?
We are going to reveal them to you bit by bit. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready now for Mr. Right.
Really can't wait to see you with the clothes on.
We like to start where a good date ends, naked.
Do you want to see a little bit more?
All right. So there you go. That is the preview. Okay. So just to explain what you saw there. So they have the people inside these boxes, right? And the boxes initially will cover them up completely. And so to start, part of the box rises so that all you can see is, like, for instance, if it's guys, all you can see is from the feet to the waist, above the waist. Okay. So obviously you see their penis. So the woman who's looking will go down the line and be like, oh, I see that this person, I can already see that this person has tattoos, right? Because they maybe have tattoos on their leg. And they're like, I don't really like tattoos. Now, prior, they do kind of give them some information as to like what they're into. So there's that. So you'll see different races and things like that there as well. But they are looking at the penis and they'll be like, that penis is curved. That penis is short. That penis looks a little too big for me because it's looking big, soft, and I can't imagine what it would look like if it was hard. So there's that. That's like the first round. Then they raise up to the chest level where you can see the nipples, okay? And they might see that the person has chest hair and they don't want chest hair, or they have nice looking nipples. Some people, like one lady judged a girl. She was bisexual. She judged the girl and she goes, I've never seen somebody who didn't have any color to her areolas, okay? So it was just interesting. I thought it was so interesting. And I think it's actually a productive show in a way, because I think, especially like being a woman watching it, you look at it and you go, oh, guys don't really care, because some of these women have rolls, some of these women have cellulite, and you hear the guy go, ooh, she's got stretch marks, like I love stretch marks, or she's got a little tummy pouch, I love tummy pouches, or whatever, like just stuff that that you wouldn't normally hear people comment on, because that's something that happens, I think, maybe more in the privacy of the bedroom, or the people think to themselves. But like these people can hear why the other person is not choosing them, right? So like when they get eliminated, the box goes up, they get to see what they fully look like. And sometimes the people are like, dang, they're really good looking in the face, but nothing else is anything that they're interested in. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, I wouldn't recommend to you something that's like complete foolishness, but there's something interesting about this show. Like the human nature aspect of it is interesting. If you yourself can be mature enough and comfortable enough to just be like, okay, it's a naked body, big deal. Okay. It's not like they're like, oh, like we want you to grind up against this person, or we want you to like, you know, I don't know, imitate some type of sexual act. They're not doing that type of stuff. But it's just interesting to hear. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say about that. I recommend it. I thought it was interesting and fun. So again, if you want to watch it, it's on HBO Max. If you have it, I think there's like 6 seasons. And if you don't have it, you could watch it on YouTube. Okay. All righty, guys. So let's see. Let me catch up with the comments here. Yes, we all found out Suni's birthday is not today. She lied on her application. How very Hunter Biden of you. Suni blinks. Suni's facial expressions is needed right now because what the hell? This would be Suni's facial expression while I play the video. All right. Kunika says, damn, now I'm going to have to go watch a bunch of naked people at least once. Yes, do it at least once. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to like burst into flames and go to hell. Like, come on, guys. Come on. It's no big deal. It's actually interesting. I would like to know what you guys think. Okay. Just watch a couple episodes and let me know. All right. Let's talk about Candace Owens. Okay. So Candace Owens has her YouTube channel back. Okay. She has her own YouTube channel called Candace Owens. And she does a podcast on there. I don't know how often she's doing it. It's probably every day because she's now had 2 episodes and she just came back yesterday. Okay. So the first episode that she did was, let me just pull up the titles here. I think the first episode she did was, yes, I was fired from the Daily Wire. I want to say that's what it was called. The second one was about, you know what? Let me just not lie. Let me just go to the YouTube so I can read you the actual titles. Okay. I'll just show it to you so you guys can see. The shows have been like, you know, pretty much like Candace's show was before, if you were a fan of the Candace Owens show. So here's her YouTube channel. She already has 1.64 million subscribers. I think she had 1 million subscribers before her shows even started on here. But her first one was, got fired. And this is where she talked about as much as she could about the whole situation at the Daily Wire. She couldn't, obviously, because of her I don't know what it's called, like her clause that she signed that said she wasn't going to say anything about the Daily Wire or whatever. I don't know if that just applies to Ben Shapiro or the situation itself, but she went in on Andrew Klavan, who she basically called out as being a fake towards her because prior to her being fired from the Daily Wire, he was buddy-buddy with her, asked her how her kids were doing. You know, she had just had a foot injury or something like that. I mean, she was just kind of going in about what a fake Andrew Klavan was. And there wasn't really much to tell there. And obviously she didn't say much about specifically what happened with the Ben Shapiro thing, but we all know what happened. Okay. They felt like she criticized Israel too much and they didn't like it. But the thing that she did end the interview with, which I found interesting, and I hope she releases that. It looks like she's going to be releasing that soon. Now that I'm seeing it here, she's got it right here. It's Candace Yee podcast episode coming soon. So she talked about an interview with Kanye. So apparently back when she was on the Daily Wire and she was defending Kanye actually wanted to come on her show. Yes, gag order, Marlandon. Thank you. Kanye actually wanted to come on the show on the Daily Wire and do an interview. And that was at his suggestion. But the Daily Wire said, we're not having it. And Candace said, that was fine. I totally respected it. It's their show. I wasn't going to push it. But what I did say to Ye was, hey, why don't you come back to my house? And I have this camera that's like no big deal. And we'll just sit in my living room or whatever and do an interview, and I'm going to just stash it away for when I have my own platform one day. How funny that it came true so soon. And she's like, and then I can release this interview, right? So here we are. The time came. She's got her own channel, and now she's going to release the full Ye interview. She did put a clip at the end of her show, which you can go watch. It's the end of this first episode. No big deal, anything that he said, but she obviously was trying to tease the interview, and she said there was a lot of stuff talked about, and it was very interesting to go back and kind of relive now that some time has passed. Okay. But interestingly enough, while she was actually, let me just go through. So today she did another one, and she talked about the reasons why my show was canceled. Okay. Alluding to what she was talking about with Diddy and Britney Spears and Ye. So basically, she was kind of doubling down on what Ye said, that if you talk about the wrong people, meaning the Jays, if they don't like what you're saying, will get canceled. If you get too close to the truth, you will get canceled. So that's what the second episode was about. So this will be the third one. Okay. Is the interview with Ye. So I don't know if that's going to be coming tomorrow or what. Okay. But I will keep you guys posted. Now, what was very interesting is there were two things. Okay. So Ian Carroll tweeted or posted on X a post that read the following: breaking. The Daily Wire is offering fired employees $3,000 to sign gag orders so they won't expose Daily Wire lies about at real Candace Owens. But anonymous sources told me they've lost 25 people lately who are going to places like Tucker Carlson, the PBD podcast, and Dave Ramsey. All this while last night at a Turning Point event, Candace exposed how Daily Wire sent an intern to pose as a student to try to get compromising material about her. Honestly, is anyone else starting to wonder if Ben Shapiro is connected to Mossad? These are the tactics of intelligence agencies, not news agencies. And the agenda is clear. Israel first, Christianity be damned, America be damned. That's what Ian tweeted. Okay. Now I want to show you a clip from that Turning Point event where Candace called out the intern. So here you go.
Last thing that I am going to say, strangely, this is such a crazy story, but as I was headed in here, I got a frantic call from somebody. They called me and they said, Candace, something very weird is happening. The Daily Wire has sent somebody secretly to record you, an intern, a PR intern, to secretly record you, to catch you in a bad moment, in a bad light. And I think that intern's name, no, to be fair, it is never the fault of a person when their employer is sending them to do something that isn't good. But I would really love it if Ariana stood up. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's a little too intimidating for you too, but apparently she got an email at 10 p.m., hopped on a plane, is pretending to be a student. And so I do just want to say to Ben Shapiro, enough. Come out into the lights. Really, come on. Let's do this debate. Stop sending interns to do your dirty work. I don't bite. I'm down for the debate. Charlie Kirk says he will fly you out. He will fly you out next week to Detroit, and we can do the debates on his stage. Thank you, Turning Point USA. Let's take some questions.
All right. And you know what, Mika Jenkins, I agree with you. I just actually noticed that her little jacket had the appearance like there was a belly under there. So could Candace Owens be pregnant again? And you know what that means, okay? If Candace Owens is pregnant again, we were hoping she wouldn't be. Let's go back to this picture. Hold on one second. If Candace Owens is pregnant again, oh Lord, because we know how Candace gets when she's pregnant. Okay, what do we think about this? You see this right here? That looks like the button-up job. And look at this. The button's pulling at the boobs. She was kind of breathing heavy. Oh my gosh, we may have like broken a little T here. Who knows? Good catch, Jenkins. Micah, good catch. I like that. I hope for Suni's sake she's not pregnant, because Suni just hates when Candace is pregnant. And Candace has been pregnant like for if this is a pregnancy, this will be like 4 years in a row. Crazy. So anyways, she went out to call out this girl, which you heard her name was Ariana. She then gave her last name. The girl never stood up, obviously. I mean, who would? I would have died. But Candace did say a little bit further on down that she had confirmation from the people in TPUS or Turning Point that this girl was in the building and had checked in. So how crazy is that? If you ask me, it's super crazy. All right. Next, we're going to talk about Hunter Biden. Okay. Hunter Biden. So it says here, oh, shoot. Of course, I pulled up a Washington Post article that doesn't want to play nice with me. And that's probably why my video has been lagging, if it has been lagging. All right. So Hunter Biden was found guilty on all counts in his gun case. Okay. Federal jury found Hunter Biden guilty today on all 3 federal felony gun charges he faced, concluding that he violated laws meant to prevent drug addicts from owning firearms. If you guys don't remember this was something that we talked about a long time ago. Okay. That Hunter Biden basically applied for a weapon when he filled out the background check form. You can't get a weapon if you are under the influence of drugs. And during that time was the time when, all these photos of him, like, with crack pipes hanging out of his mouth, snorting coke off of Malia Obama's ass and who knows what else came out, so clearly he was a drug user at the time. And that's what this case was about. Okay. So the conviction marks the first time a president's immediate family member has been found guilty of a crime during their father's term in office, though his crimes predate Joe Biden's tenure as president. In a statement, Hunter Biden said he was disappointed by the guilty verdict, but grateful for his family's love. President Biden expressed support for his son in a statement and said he would respect the judicial process. Hunter Biden could face up to 25 years in prison and a fine up to $750,000 at sentencing. Though he likely will receive far less than the maximum as a first-time offender, the judge said sentencing is usually set for 120 days following a verdict, which means it's likely to happen before election day. Okay. Now, what makes that part a little interesting is Hunter Biden is also going to be on trial for tax evasion. Okay. So this is kind of having to do with the money, the Burisma money, the money that he made and didn't pay the taxes. Okay. So that's a whole different situation. He's going to be fighting the IRS, and y'all know how the IRS wants their money. Okay. But why that's going to affect this case is because as of right now, he is not, he doesn't have criminal history. Right. But I think that case is set to happen, I want to say in July. I may be wrong on that, but that case is set to happen. And if he gets convicted on that case, boom, he's got criminal history. Okay. Now I agree. I mean, he's a first-time offender, just like they should handle it with Trump, which we'll talk about the Trump thing too, because that got interesting real quick. And I don't think we did a show to talk about that. But the recent Trump felony conviction or conviction in New York could be thrown out altogether. If you guys haven't heard about that, I'll talk about that. So anyways, the jury deliberated for just under 3 hours, returned a guilty verdict on all 3 charges. And this happened in October of 2018 at a Delaware gun shop. Okay. So the charges were as follows. The first 2 counts were for lying about his drug use on a federal background check form. And the third count was for possessing a gun while addicted to or using illegal drugs. The judge said sentencing. We already read this part. Okay, so we're not going to read that. So Joe Biden's statement was, as I said last week, this is a quote, "I'm the president, but I'm also a dad. Jill and I love our son. We are so proud of the man he is today." Okay. David Weiss, the special counsel, said the case was not just about addiction, but about the illegal choices Hunter Biden made while he was using drugs. He reiterated that no one is above the law, even the president's son. Weiss thanked the jury, prosecutors, and U.S. Attorney General. Inside the deliberation room, when deliberations first began Monday afternoon, the jury was split. According to one juror who spoke to CNN, after discussing the elements of each crime, they were ready to return in a unanimous verdict Tuesday, the juror said. 3 jurors who spoke to CNN said they believed they had no choice but to find him guilty. But one said it seemed like a waste of taxpayer dollars. One juror told CNN, "I really don't think Hunter Biden belongs in jail." The juror said they were mainly focused on evidence, not Hunter Biden's lifestyle, adding that politics did not come up, which they shouldn't come up. The man said the jurors felt bad that Naomi Biden, Hunter's daughter, was called to testify. He said in his opinion, it was a mistake to put her on the stand. Okay. So, here's my thing. Okay. I know people are like, yeah, we got him. You know how it is. You know how it is, conservatives, like they want to just celebrate every little stupid thing. While this is not stupid, I don't really think in the big scheme of things, it really matters, this conviction. And I only say that because just like the Trump stuff, I think it's all for show. I think they want to prove that the judicial system is fair and works the way that it should work. But we're not talking about the average person here. Same thing like in the Donald Trump case, it's not the average person, so I don't think this is a way to convince the people. A lot of people are like, well, this is a distraction, like that's what people like to say. This is a distraction from things to come. Honestly, I have a few interesting theories and I posted this. Okay. And then I have a Mo is right moment. Okay. Just so you guys know, I have a Mo is right moment for you guys. This was a statement from Joe Biden. Okay. I did read part of it, but here's the full thing. It says here, as I said last week, I'm the president, but I'm also a dad. Jill and I love her son, blah, blah, blah. So many families who have had loved ones battle addiction understand the feeling of pride, seeing someone you love come out the other side and be strong and resilient in recovery. As I also said last week, I will accept the outcome of this case and will continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter continues to appeal. So he's going to appeal this. Jill and I will always be there for Hunter and the rest of our family with love and support. Nothing will ever change that. Okay. Which I don't think is crazy. I mean, I think any parent would support their child. Personally, I'd like to think that the Bidens are people that have hearts. Okay. But these people are so sick. I actually think they really could care less about Hunter if he went to jail or not. In fact, I think it was probably pre-discussed that Hunter was going to be the fall guy for this family, that if the whole Burisma thing, came to light, that he was going to be the one to take the hit, right? And I think they're totally fine with that. In fact, I think that what could possibly happen is Joe Biden, if it gets too crazy and Joe Biden starts to look like he's about to be in some really serious hot water, I think we're going to see him step down from the presidency early, say that it's for health reasons, right? Meanwhile, a trial happens. He's maybe declared clinically, I don't know, insane. Maybe he gets out of it. Maybe he doesn't. But then Kamisha, aka Kamala, steps in as president. and pardons everybody. Okay. Because I said to you guys last time that a president can pardon on a federal level himself, but he cannot pardon a state crime. Or is it backwards? I don't think he can pardon himself on a state conviction. He can pardon himself on a federal conviction. So that could be a possibility. Okay. Joe Biden's campaign also wrote in a statement, this trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of, Trump's campaign, not Biden's campaign. This trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family, which is ranked in tens of millions of dollars from China, Russia, and Ukraine. Crooked Joe Biden reigns over the Biden family criminal empire. It's all coming to an end November 5th, and never again will a Biden sell government access for personal profit. As for Hunter, we wish him well in his recovery and legal affairs. Okay. Now, there was another statement made from Trump, and this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay. The statement says, many people have asked me to comment on the conviction of Hunter Biden. Sleepy Joe's son was found guilty of lying on an application for a gun. Hunter Biden is a terrible person who has funneled millions of dollars from other countries to his father. Even so, it is hard to blame him for wanting a gun, which he has the God-given right to have under the Second Amendment, which he is correct. Probably the greatest amendment of them all, if we were being totally honest. His father, one of the worst presidents, is more concerned with making the gun control people happy, so he won't have the courage to step in here and help Hunter. Don't worry, Joe. I will save your son after I get elected for the third time. What a jab that he put in there for the third time. Okay. But the important part there, the I told you so moment is, don't worry, Joe, I will save your son after I get elected. If you have been watching the last few shows where we have been talking about pardons and whatnot, I said, and people said, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I said, if Donald Trump gets elected president, he will pardon either Hunter or Joe or both. Okay. And, people are like, but why? Because that will give him leverage with the DOJ. Okay. That will give him leverage with the DOJ, because even if he does become president, and there's still cases pending against him, he will be able to get those taken care of. I mean, at the end of the day, politics is about you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. He also has to protect the office of the presidency, what it means, the office of the presidency, right? So any former president, I think that, would be convicted of a crime. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't Joe Biden and President Trump was in office, he would have done the same thing. Okay, to protect the office of the presidency. Now, Hunter Biden, I think it's about, getting leverage with the DOJ. Okay, to tell you the truth. That's just what I think. Okay, now you guys have dismissed what I've thought, but I'm right, because you heard it from the horse's mouth. He'll help his son if he's elected president for the third time. Okay, so you heard it here first. And I know what I'm saying sounds crazy and outrageous, but hey, give it a thought. Give it a thought, because it's looking like that anyways, but it doesn't surprise me. Okay. So yeah, what we have to look forward to next is the Hunter Biden tax evasion case, which is coming up, I think in July, either July or September. Okay. I can't remember because, I got other things on my mind. Okay. So let's talk about something crazy. Let's talk about something a little bit crazy. Okay. So there was a post that I saw that claimed J-Lo was announced Whitney Houston's as the Whitney Houston Grammy tribute. Okay. Now I have looked everywhere, high and low, to get more information on this, because when I first saw this, I was like, there is no way. There is not a single note, okay, that Whitney Houston can hit, that J-Lo could even dream or think of hitting. Okay. Number one. Number two, She can't sing. You can't have somebody who can't sing give the tribute to Whitney Houston. I was, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to read to you what the fact check says, okay? But let's keep in mind two things. We can never trust the fact checkers, number one. Number two, J-Lo did do the Grammy tribute to Motown, which was like, what? You couldn't find anybody else to do a tribute to Motown? You had to pick J-Lo? I don't know, y'all. Like, J-Lo has got to be wrapped up in the Illuminati because something ain't right. Something is not right. And I don't know how this rumor started, but the fact checkers say this, okay? So here's the claim. The claim is that Jennifer Lopez told Time magazine she will perform a Whitney Houston tribute at the 2023 Grammy Awards. Quote, she said, "It fits my vocal range." What? Like, I read that and I was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Can, like, somebody in the comment section, all of you guys in the comment section, and by the way, hit the like button, please. Please hit the like button. Please tell me, like, off the top of your head, who would be a better choice than J-Lo to do a Whitney Houston tribute? Because I could think of a lot more people than her. If we had to resurrect Luther Vandross, okay, from the grave to come and do that tribute, we should do it just to keep J-Lo off that stage. Because Whitney herself will rise up from the grave to be like, hell no. Hell to the nah. Okay. That's what Whitney used to always say. Hell to the nah. All right. Okay. So AP News did an assessment and said a spokesperson for Lopez confirms this conversation never happened. And there's no report matching the description on the Time website. The fact is, the pop singer and actor Jennifer Lopez didn't compare her vocal talents to Whitney Houston in an interview, despite what you may have read in popular social media posts. Okay. The post claimed Jennifer said in an interview, "I feel that Whitney's song fits my vocal range well. I'm going to sing. I have nothing and I will always love you." Can you just imagine? In J-Lo's voice, the songs "I Have Nothing" and "I Will Always Love You"? No. By Captain Testosterone. Thank you so much. Can you just imagine? That's crazy. Anyways, adding to internet speculation that claims were true was a clip published on Twitter that purported to feature raw audio of Lopez rehearsing for the Grammy performance. The clip amassed more than 14,000 shares on Twitter. However, Lauren Schwartz, a rep for Lopez, confirmed that the quote attributed to Lopez was fake and she had not announced any such tribute. There is no truth to this rumor, she says, and the interview did not happen. We're looking into the audio clip, but either way, it is not related to any Grammy performance. An internet search revealed the clip had circulated online or has been circulating online since 2010, claiming to show Jennifer Lopez attempting to sing a Barbra Streisand. I like how they said attempting to sing a Barbra Streisand song. Okay, so you guys, let's just keep an eye on this. Okay, we cannot let this happen. We cannot. I know that this says that this is fake. Okay. But we cannot let this happen. We need to fight for Whitney. Okay. Fantasia, Boys to Men. Not Boys to Men. What's her name? Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey could do a Whitney tribute. Easy. J-Lo? No. Jennifer Hudson. She could do a Whitney tribute. What's her name? What's the other one that sings? Is it India Ari? I forget. Anyways, anybody, please, if this is true, please don't let it happen. Let's not let it happen. All right. Okay. Let's talk about Kevin Spacey. And I'm going to play a clip from the Piers Morgan show that shows Kevin Spacey just breaking down into tears over talking about where his life is now. Okay. So let me just pull this up. All right, here we go. Kevin Spacey on the Piers Morgan show. Whoops.
Well, it's funny you asked that question because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction.
Really?
So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage.
Really?
So the answer to that question is I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now.
How much money do you have?
None.
What are you going to do?
Get back on the horse.
What'd you?
So sad. So sad, actually. You know, the guy I think did some shitty things, but it's always sad to see somebody like at the end of their rope like that. So this is also what he said. I have nothing to hide and I want to live a more open life than the one that I did, said Kevin Spacey in his first lengthy interview. I'm going to watch this interview because it's interesting to me, since winning most of the sexual misconduct suits against him over the past several years. So it looks like he has won some of the suits over him. But obviously that probably drained him of everything he had. The actor did have a much shorter conversation with News Nation Chris Cuomo last month. Today, hours plus interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored covered not just the allegations against him, but the two-time Oscar winner's mental state, his sexuality, because there were rumors of him being gay, his childhood, and his much impacted finances. Spacey choked up as he said his home in Baltimore is being foreclosed on and auctioned for sale, which is what you guys saw. He said, I've spent so many years wanting to talk about myself and avoiding questions about my personal life and my sexuality, said Spacey, who identifies as gay. Oh my God, I did not know that. I did not know he identified as gay. He also said his mother failed to defend him from his neo-Nazi father. What? Okay, now I have to watch this interview. Now I got to watch it. After allegations made by actor Anthony Rapp in 2017, Spacey said he was in a very dark place. Rapp stated in a 2017 BuzzFeed article and on the witness stand that in 1986, when he was 14, a 26-year-old Kevin Spacey physically picked him up like a groom picks up a bride, placed him on a bed, and then climbed on top of him in an attempt to initiate sex. Spacey again today denied the charges, saying that Rapp and a friend had only come to his home to meet the House of Cards star's dog. A jury found him not liable in 2022 in a 2022 sexual misconduct lawsuit. Asked to explain why Rapp may have said what he said, Spacey talked of forgiving and offered, quote, I hope that someday Anthony may accept that he had a faulty memory. Huh, that's interesting. Rapp's sexual misconduct allegations are among several that made Spacey an early focus of the hashtag #MeToo movement in 2017. Between 2001 and 2013, he also had allegations of sexual misconduct between 4 men. He will face a civil trial in the UK next year after being sued by a man who alleged the actor sexually assaulted him. The man, who has been granted anonymity by the court, claims he suffered psychiatric damages and other financial loss as a result of the alleged sexual assault. Also, he is on the hook for $31 million awarded to House of Cards producer Media Rights Capital because the claims hastened the end of the show and were deemed a breach of his acting and producing agreements. The 2-part documentary Spacey Unmasked aired last month in the UK and is now streaming on Max. Oh, I gotta watch it. So yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know he was gay, and I don't know if like all of this is a result of him hiding the fact that he's gay, because it seems like they're mentally messed up if they hide that they're gay and they try to kind of just not share it with the world, but then they can't be themselves. And then they do like a Caitlyn Jenner and chop off their dick and add some tits. And then, they're still messed up. Nothing fixes it, So I don't know what to say. He took the words out of my mouth. Holly weird for sure. All right, let's talk about Uvalde. Okay, this was an interesting article that I saw. I think Right Wing Angel actually posted about it, which is what brought my attention to it. But it says Uvalde shooting survivor families sue UPS FedEx for shipping weapons used by the gunman in the school massacre. I don't understand this one. So we're gonna read this article together and see what this is all about. It says the lawsuit claims the company shipped an enhanced trigger system that allowed the gunman to convert a firearm into a fully automatic, semi-automatic weapon. Oh, before I keep going, I'm going to, if anybody wants to join, I'll pin the join link in here if you guys want to join. Let me just star it so it doesn't go away. Okay. The article goes on to say families of survivors of the Robb Elementary School shooting are suing the package shipping companies UPS and FedEx for allegedly violating state and federal law and their own corporate safety standards. The lawsuit was filed on the 2-year mark of the shooting, which saw a gunman enter the school and murder 19 children and 2 teachers. By the way, I keep forgetting to mention to you guys, you have to, if you have the time, because it's 100 and something pages, but it's very interesting if you were interested in this Uvalde thing. But the final report that was conducted by external investigators came out on the Uvalde. If you're interested in it and you want me to send it to you, send me a message on Instagram or to letstalkdarling@gmail.com. So I have your email because I have to email it to you. I can't send you a link. But if you want to read it, it is extremely interesting. And if you had a very, firm opinion on it one way or another, I really highly suggest you read this. I haven't finished it yet, but it is, it completely changed my outlook on it. Let's just say that. The lawsuit was filed on the 2-year mark of the shooting, which saw a gunman enter the school and killed 19 kids. The family said the shipping companies bear responsibility for the trauma and distress caused to the survivors of the massacre. On the day of the shooting, the gunman was armed with a weapon ordered online and shipped to Oasis Farms in Uvalde, where it was then picked up by the shooter. The lawsuit claims the companies then shipped an enhanced trigger system to the gunman's house. This allowed the gunman to convert it into a fully automatic or semi-automatic weapon. The lawsuit cited UPS conditions of carriage as proof of violation. The UPS conditions state shipments must not contain goods which might endanger human or animal life or any means of transportation. The families also said that, wait, what? So, okay, this is my question though. So, how is it that you can ship something via UPS, and if it's boxed up, how does UPS know what's in there? I'm confused. Shipments must not contain goods which might endanger human or animal life. How many of you guys have ordered something from or that has come UPS or FedEx that could potentially endanger somebody's life, like a knife? Something that could start a fire, weapons for a gun or accessories for a gun. I know Dave has ordered stuff that has come UPS or FedEx and is, pieces for his gun. Like, how are they going to know that? That is crazy to me. The families also said that the shipment of the Hellfire trigger to the gunman's house was a violation of school zone area protections. The gunman's house was less than 1,000 feet away from Robb Elementary School zone. According to the lawsuit, the gunman was not 18 when he bought the weapon and Hellfire trigger online. It claimed that FedEx shipped the AR-15 and then Oasis Firearms illegally transferred the gun to the shooter, even though he was 17 at the time of purchase. The shooter was also able to purchase ammunition from Oasis that was used in the massacre. But didn't he go with his parents? I'm confused. Maybe I'm getting the shooters confused. Somebody correct me if you know in the comments. This is weird. The lawsuit was filed on the same day. Families of victims and survivors filed a wrongful death lawsuit against an Instagram parent company, Meta, the maker of the Call of Duty game, Activision and Daniel Defense, the company that manufactured the AR-15 style assault rifle the gunman used. In a statement, UPS said, "Our hearts go out to the Uvalde victims and their families. Shipping firearms and components is highly regulated. UPS complies and requires its customers to comply with all applicable federal law. The lawsuit has no merit, and we will defend accordingly." I mean, I'm going to say, without fully researching the law here, I'm going to say I don't think they have merit, because I'm really confused. I'm really, really confused on how this can even be a legit lawsuit. And my next question would be, and let me just say that my heart goes out to these family members because they lost their children in the shooting, and it's a terrible, terrible thing. I'm not discounting that. But if I were to really think back on who I, as an outsider looking in, would sue, it would be the people that ignored the maintenance requests for the doors, that didn't properly lock, right? Which is how the gunman got in. So, I mean, there very well could be a lawsuit against the city for that, but I would hope there is, okay? Because this just sounds crazy. This just sounds like they're just trying to sue everybody and their mother, and they really need to go towards after the city more than anything, because there were a lot of balls dropped there, okay? And if you read this report, you will see that it was very hard for these people that did this investigation, this independent investigation, to even get footage from the city, to get the information they needed, to get the interviews that they needed to be able to complete this report, because the city is obviously trying to protect itself first and foremost. So, yeah, that's interesting. But again, if you want to read that article or the final report, let me know and I'll send it to you. But just shoot me an email at letstalkdarling@gmail.com. Okay. Funny news. Did you guys see? I think they were doing. Is this what month is this? Somebody tell me if you know what this was celebrating. I'm going to show you right now. I know it's not Black History Month. What is this? This wasn't Black History Month. This was it Pride Month? I don't know. Anyways, they were holding some type of concert on the lawn at the White House, okay? And this guy over here on the left, I forget his name, Billy something. He's a big old queen. Here's Kamisha's husband, Doug. Here's Kamisha. She's over here doing her best. Here's Joe. You're about to see him. This dude is the dude to make it look like Joe's in with the Black community, and then the other two people as well, right? So they put the Black folks to the right. They put a gay person in there. They put Kamisha in there, which I don't know what she's supposed to represent. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what she's supposed to represent. And Doug represents completely lost. Okay. He just looks like he's just a sore thumb. Okay. But anyways, I found this video very, very sad because Joey looks lost. He looks lost. Okay. And I'm going to show you, you're going to see Kamala. She can act like she knows the words of the song, but she doesn't. But here you go. Have fun with this one.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Look at Joe.
Love nobody but you. They wanted to come. He said today he must come through. He won't now, that's not what superheroes do. I will never find no way to love. For the rest of my life. All I want to do is make you proud of me. Here's everything.
Poor Joe. Poor Joe. You know, Corinne said it best. I think she posted this and she said, this is like, you know, when your toddler's dancing and you're like, and you pull out the camera and you're like, do it again, do it again. And then they just stand there. That's Joe. That's Joe for you. Then Kamala, she went up there with Kirk Franklin. Oh, sorry. This was the Juneteenth event. How did I forget that? This is the Juneteenth event. So Kirk Franklin then invites Kamala up on stage. So here's that.
Even though I hurt, see, I smile. Come on. I know God is working, so I smile. Let me see you smile. Even though I've been in for a while, I smile.
You know, Kamala has never heard a Kirk Franklin song ever in her life. Okay, ever in her life. She's only mouthing the words that she could, you know, vaguely understand. Anyways, so let's see what else we got here. Okay, so let's talk about this woman. So this woman, a federal jury in the Northern District of Georgia, has convicted a Georgia attorney and former City of Atlanta police officer of fraudulently obtaining $15 million in PPP loans. Yes, you heard correctly. In PPP loans, people. Okay. Can you believe, like, Fannie Willis is one of them. Okay. Everybody in Atlanta is a scam art. Let me find out this is in Fulton County. Let me just read this article. Let me find out this is in Fulton County because I bet you it is. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. Okay. So let's see what it says. It says Robertson. Okay. That's Shalitha Robertson and other co-conspirators got the loans on behalf of 4 businesses she owned and controlled, the Department of Justice said in a news release Friday. The fact that they have our President Trump, the fact that they are holding a court case where they are trying to hold President Trump at fault for claiming that there was election fraud in Georgia, and they're saying no, it wasn't, is ridiculous. Okay, because if we don't know by now, it is corrupt over there. There is no doubt in my mind there was election fraud in Georgia. All right, so the loan applications falsely inflated the number of employees and average monthly payroll for each of the 4 businesses, resulting in larger PPP loans than Robertson would be legitimately entitled to. Robertson and her co-conspirator, Chandra Norton, also submitted false tax documents to support the inflated statements in each loan application. Robertson used the money she got from the loans to buy luxury items, including a 10-carat diamond ring. The DOJ said she also a 10-carat diamond ring? Damn! The DOJ said she also transferred some money to the other family members and her co-conspirator, Chandra Norton. Motivated by greed, Robertson deceptively obtained funds that were designated to provide emergency financial relief to struggling small businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic. We will continue to work with our law enforcement partners to investigate and prosecute criminals who stole pandemic relief funds. So y'all that's trying to scam the government during the PPP loans are about to be in trouble. A jury convicted Robertson of conspiracy. I hope you're going to be in trouble. A jury convicted Robertson of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and money laundering December 19, 2023. The judge sentenced her to 7 years and 3 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Is she going to have to pay the money back? That's what I want to know. Is she going to have to pay the money back? Now, interestingly enough, they don't say what county this was in. But I'm going to keep searching because I want to know. Let me find out that this was in Fulton County. She was an attorney. She knew better, y'all. She knew better and she still did this. You know, I am sickened by the amount of people that fraudulently took out PPP loans because there were so many businesses that had to close their doors because of COVID. On top of that, on top of COVID being a complete sham, okay, these people scammed money out of an already in the negative, in the red government, okay, and used it to buy things like 10-carat diamond rings, cars, Louis Vuitton bags, expensive trips. Okay. These people, like 7 years is just not enough. Y'all need to really like pay up for what you did because you hurt a lot of people. I'm pretty sure in these businesses that she claimed to own that she probably let go of people too. I am willing to bet she probably let go of people. Okay. Now, speaking of crazy stuff, the Trump case, okay? How many of you guys heard about this Facebook post? How many of you guys have heard about the Facebook post? It has been kind of silent since I heard about it, and I'm surprised. Hold on. Facebook post about Trump case. It's been kind of silent since I heard about this. But I wanted to read to you guys if you guys haven't heard about this because this could throw out the entire conviction. All right, let me see what article I can read here. Okay, so can Donald Trump get a mistrial after Judge Merchan's letter? Okay, so Judge Merchan is the judge that proceeded over the Trump Stormy Daniels payment to shut her up case in New York. Okay. So this article reads, Donald Trump's supporters have pointed to the possibility of a mistrial in his criminal hush money case after the Manhattan court flagged a social media post alleging that a juror discussed the former president's verdict outside of the courthouse. Now, if you've ever served on a jury, you get very strict instructions that you cannot speak about the case that you are a part of. Okay. Now, this is alleged that it was reported by the judge in the case, and I'm going to give my thoughts on this. Okay. But on May 30th, obviously, if you don't already know, Trump was found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records related to the hush money paid to she's a porn actress, Stormy Daniels. In a letter Friday, that was last Friday, Judge Juan Merchan, who oversaw Trump's trial, informed the prosecution and the defense that a comment was left on the New York State Unified Courts System's Facebook page, by a user claiming to be a juror's cousin. The comment said that their relative, quote, says Trump is getting convicted, adding, quote, thank you, folks, for all your hard work, end quote. The comment made by the user under the name Michael Anderson, which, by the way, Michael Anderson is probably the most generic common name you could think of. And I'm going to tell you why I'm pointing that out. It was left under a Facebook post made by the court on May 29th. That was before the verdict was read. Merchan did not specify which day the comment was made, but said in his letter that it was labeled as 1 week old. Conservative activist Laura Loomer said on X Friday that the Facebook comment means Trump could now be entitled to a mistrial because the jury pool was tainted and compromised, adding, this is further evidence that President Trump did not receive a fair trial. We already know he didn't receive a fair trial. Charlie Kirk, founder of the conservative group Turning Point, noted on X, nothing has been proven yet, but if this is true, and a juror was revealing to others that they planned to convict during deliberations, that is jury misconduct and grounds for a mistrial. Fascinating turn of events. Trump himself also posted on social media, mistrial. Okay. Now, this is what I think. I think that Judge Merchan was probably pressured to handle this case the way he handled it. Similar to the judge with Fannie Willis in Fulton County, Georgia. Okay. That judge, like if you watched the any of the proceedings around that one, that judge was running so much interference for Fannie Willis, it wasn't even funny. Okay. I think these judges are corrupt or corrupted, I will say. Now, what I think is Judge Merchan, I mean, who knows? His name's Juan Merchan. Maybe it's not Merchan. Merchan. Juan. Okay. Maybe he was promised a couple of his family members could come over, you know, free, get your citizenship if you rule. I don't know. I alleged. Okay. This is just my mind and how it works. But I do know that because the way that this trial was handled, I think Judge Merchan was in the possibility of getting into deep water. And because I also know the way that the powers that be sometimes operate to cover their asses, I think they were not expecting Trump's conviction to have the reaction that it had. And they probably looked at each other at the water cooler after the verdict was read, and they were like, this was for nothing. Okay. These people love him more than ever. We're screwed. And the judge, who was getting, you know, some snacks out of the drawer, said, yeah, and y'all made me proceed over this thing, and I ain't going down. What are we going to do? Okay. Because nobody can identify this Michael Anderson character or the juror that made the comment to him, I think this was their way out, right? They said, let's make it look like a mistrial, or at least give them the opportunity to declare it a mistrial. Once it's a mistrial, we're out of it, okay? Or so they hope. We don't have to worry about it because it's a mistrial. He'll be free. We don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm going to say this as delicately as I possibly can, but things are going to get worse, okay? Don't think for a second that we are winning in a sense of, oh, you know, like this trial's getting, you know, thrown out and these truths are being exposed. I want you guys to keep in the forefront of your mind that the evil that we are dealing with will go to any length to protect themselves. Okay. They have tried impeachments. They have tried court cases. They have tried everything they can. And the very last thing that they will resort to will be to hurt this man, to make sure he does not exist any longer, to make sure they eliminate the threat. That's the extent to which I can say it, but you guys know exactly what I mean, okay? They will make it look like an accident, but everybody will know what happened. And that is scary. Not because it's Trump. I'm not saying this because it's Trump, okay? I'm saying it because it shows the extent to which evil will go to protect themselves, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. We will see if this moves in the direction of a mistrial. I will kind of keep my eye on this, but I found it quite interesting that this came about. I think that it's an out for them more than it's an out for Donald Trump, because I think they know that Donald Trump will get out of this because he's gotten out of everything. He has beat everything. These people have not had a chance in hell with him. Okay. So we'll see if I'm right. Cheryl says, what a joke. Such fakes. That's exactly what I think too. They're opening a door just in case they need a way out. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. That's what I think. But y'all just keep discounting me. Y'all just keep calling me crazy. Keep calling my ideas crazy. Y'all will see. Y'all will see. Mo is always right. If you don't believe me that evil exists, I'm going to show you this picture. You guys remember Nikki Haley, right? You know what this is? This is a picture of Nikki Haley signing bombs. Bombs in Israel. Bombs in Israel intended for Palestine. Nikki Haley is signing them. Okay. This is what she said on the bomb. Finish them. America loves Israel. Always, Nikki Haley. Now, you guys know my thought about this subject. I personally don't care about either one of them. Okay. I am America first, always have, always will be. However, what kind of sick individual, no matter who the bombs are intended to go towards, they are intended to kill people. Okay. What kind of person signs a bomb that you know is going to potentially wipe out the lives of children? Innocent children. With a note that says, finish them, America loves Israel. What kind of person does that? Nikki Haley. That's who. So I just wanted to show this in case there was, because I know that there's some Nikki Haley voters out there and people who like Nikki Haley and people think that she's not so bad. This is sick, in my opinion. So, anyways, think of it what you want. But I posted this on my Instagram page because I was just like, wow, I think I've seen it all. But there's no surprise. There's no surprise. I'm wondering who else they called to sign bombs. I want to see who else signed a bomb, because it looks like there's probably a bomb for everybody, right? So you can go and sign. Yeah. Anyways. All right. So a major childcare association names and shames top medical organizations for pushing gender transition on kids. Okay. That is the American College of Pediatricians. They called on U.S. groups to, quote, follow the science in a bid to steer them away from trans treatments for minors. I'm going to take these off because I don't need them until I play anything. A conservative medical campaign group has slammed a list of U.S. healthcare organizations for pushing the gender transition craze on kids for their alleged promotion of puberty blockers to children. The American College of Pediatricians name-dropped a litany of top medical groups calling on them to, quote, follow the science in a bid to steer them away from the trans treatment for minors. The group said, quote, given the recent research and the revelation of the harmful approach advocated by the WPATH, World Professional Association for Trans Health, and its followers in the United States, we, the undersigned, call upon the Medical Professional Organization of the United States to follow the science and their European professional colleagues and immediately stop the promotion of social affirmation, puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries for children and adolescents who experience distress over their biological sex. Instead, these organizations should recommend comprehensive evaluations and therapies aimed at identifying and addressing underlying psychological comorbidities and neurodiversities that often predispose to and accompany gender dysphoria. We also encourage the physicians who are members of these professional organizations to contact their leadership and urge them to adhere to the evidence-based research now available. The statement comes as part of AC Peds, Doctors Protecting Children, which urges the ethical care of children for gender dysphoria. Now, it looks like here that more than 120,000 children aged between 6 and 17 were diagnosed with gender dysphoria from 2017 to 2021, a figure which increased by a staggering 70% from 2020 to 2021. That's crazy. I think that this is great. I think that this is a good step, right? Part of me is wondering why this took so long. part of me is wondering why this took so long and why are they now just talking about this and just releasing it. And I hate to be skeptical like that or like a Debbie Downer, but I'm always skeptical of things. And I don't, I know the medical community took a huge hit when anybody even spoke out against things like the COVID vaccine. And maybe that could be the reason. But I don't know. Like I can't lie and say that I'm not skeptical about why that this is happening now. You know what I mean? So anyways, Cheryl says it is sick and why it is sick. And why would they want that to be seen by anyone, especially with what's going on at and around the campuses here? They purposely continue to build on all this chaos. I think she's referring to the Nikki Haley signing the missiles picture. And I agree. I agree with you. Am I lagging for anybody? I feel like my video is lagging. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else I've got here. Let's see if I have any funny news before we end the show. Okay, so I wanted to address the Marjorie Taylor Green. So Marjorie Taylor Green, this was her exact quote. I don't know if the girl that was watching me earlier is still watching, but her exact quote was, it says Marjorie Taylor Green compares Donald Trump to Jesus during his Las Vegas rally. And it says, quote, "The man that I worship is also a convicted felon." She didn't name Jesus there, but it could be implied. It could be implied. The man that I worship, so she worships Trump, is also a convicted felon. God. I can't stand her. I'm sorry. If you like Marjorie Taylor Green, that's your right. But I can't stand her. Let's see. So, oops. Have you guys seen the Amber Rose commentary on Trump? So apparently Amber Rose has kind of woken up to the tactics of the left. And she was asked by a reporter as to why she is now endorsing Trump. And she did come out and say that she was endorsing Trump. Oh, there she is, Konika. She didn't say that at all. I watched her brief interview leaving the house that day. Okay, well, that I will go and watch the Trump rally in Las Vegas to completely fact check that. But that was a direct quote from what she said. So, I'll come back next show. And I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. All right. So Amber Rose was asked to clarify on why she's endorsing Trump. Oh, Konika's back again. Here we go. What she said was she hates people saying that she and others worship Trump and the only one she worships is Jesus. Okay. Well, if she said that, I'm glad she said that. I will fact check it. But either way, I still don't like Marjorie Taylor Green. Okay. Back to the story. So she was asked why she is endorsing Trump, and here is what she said.
Endorsement of Donald Trump. I mean, you're all about women's rights issues. I mean, what was the reason for the big change?
Is Donald Trump not for women's rights issues?
I mean, I guess a lot of people were asking.
He's trying to make America great again. That's for women too, right?
That's true. I mean,
okay. So there you go.
I know. Does him getting convicted change the way you view him?
Not at all.
I mean, do you think it'll help his chances getting reelected or you'll hurt him?
I think it helps him more.
I think it actually helps him more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people see the injustice and what happened, and they want to vote for him more than ever.
I know. I wanted to ask you. So it seems like a lot of celebrities are kind of voting for Trump now. I mean, why do you think people are kind of changing their way of
I think we just did our research and we're just, we're not brainwashed anymore by the left. I can say that about myself. All these years I've been brainwashed and I'm not anymore.
So you think people are getting more educated about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I
think
mean,
so.
do you think Donald Trump would approve of the slut walk?
That's no longer. I haven't did the slut walk since 2018, so I think that I could do something better for women than a slut walk.
Okay.
You know, although I was very passionate about the slut walk,
I loved it.
Donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to helping women get counseling for domestic violence and sexual assault and rape, and I'm still that person. I just don't think I need a slut walk for that.
I know. So what are you doing exactly now that you're?
I'm doing a whole bunch of things, so stay tuned.
A lot of
You know what's crazy is when I was watching this, she's like, the reporter, she's like, so what do you think Donald Trump would think about the slut walk? It was almost like she was trying to like demean her. And it's so funny because this is exactly, I don't even want to say what the left does, but like what people who don't really care about you or what you're doing, but they just want to use what you're doing that maybe serves them and their agenda to then turn it around and use it against you. So like she brought up the slut walk, and you know, I remember when Amber Rose was doing the slut walk, or she was holding the slut walk, and I watched an interview and she was like, you know, when I named it the slut walk, it wasn't for the intentions that people thought it was, and it got really taken out of context, and there were people there, you know, just missing the whole point of it all. And it looks like Amber grew and kind of realized that that was no longer kind of fitting who she was as a person. But then this reporter that's interviewing her goes on to say, so like, what is it exactly that you're doing? And Amber's like, I'm doing a lot of stuff, actually, you know, stay tuned. So it was kind of like she was saying, you know, are you really that relevant? Like, other than the slut walk, that was the only thing that made you relevant. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you for tuning in. The slut walk was, let me just tell you exactly, because I don't want to paraphrase or misrepresent what it was. And I'll tell you what it was. It was a fundraiser. Okay, the slut walk was a controversial protest movement that started in Toronto, Canada. The marches are organized by young feminists who are angry about patriarchal cultures that blame victims and slut shame sexual assault survivors. So that's pretty much what it was. And she did raise a lot of money for sexual assault survivors. Now, you guys know that we have done our research on the show, and not all sexual assault survivors are actually sexually assaulted. Some of them do lie about that stuff. So, but that's not the point of what I'm saying. The point of what I'm saying is now Amber Rose has a different opinion, and they don't like what her opinion is. And so now they're going to take all the things that they thought, you know, made her an empowered woman and turn it against her, you know, and use it to discredit now what she's saying about Trump, which I agree with what she's saying about Trump. Oh, you know what? Here's a good video that talks about the slut walk if you're interested. Hold on one second. This is an interview with Amber Rose, so you can hear it.
Walk.
I'm not doing that anymore.
You don't do that anymore?
Mm-mm.
When did you stop?
I stopped in 2018. I felt like it was turning into something that I wasn't proud of anymore. I wasn't like what I initially wanted it to be or what it initially was. The slut walk is initially about culture, violence, double standards, victim blaming, slut shaming. We helped a lot of women along the way, and we incorporated the LGBTQ plus community. And then it started turning into like, I'm this lady's husband and I'm getting this money, slut walk, #slut walk. And I was like,
That's not what this is.
No, that's not what it is. And then I felt the responsibility of that.
Right. The slut walk.
So there you go. So she grew up, she realized that maybe she didn't handle the slut, you know, the whole, not the slut walk, but just her own organization. She didn't handle it correctly. And I think she just chose to eventually move away from it. So, yeah. You know, I'm searching through my archives, guys, and I don't think I really saved any. I thought I had funny stuff. Oh, did y'all see this? Okay. This video has gone pretty viral. I personally don't really care about this video, but I'm going to talk about it because it has gone pretty viral. So apparently this girl, this TikToker, and you're going to see the video here. I don't know what her TikTok is, LLDDIS. And apparently she used the N word, not with the ER, but with the A at the end. Not that it matters. I hate both versions of it. It's stupid when anybody says it. But she says she refuses to apologize for it because people came after her and wanted her to apologize for it. You're about to hear how she used it. She says the First Amendment is meant to protect offensive language. So even language that you don't like, which I agree with. So even though I personally don't like the N-word, I don't like when Sunni uses it, I don't like when anybody uses it, the First Amendment protects everybody's right to use that word or any other word that you want to use, regardless of whether people like it or not. That is just the fact. So here is the video and what she said.
Gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass niggas. So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care. Gold diggers?
So she went on to say the First Amendment is intended to protect anything. It is intended to protect offensive speech. If you're not going to offend anyone, you don't need protection. Larry Flynt. That was a quote by Larry Flynt, and she reposted it. So I don't know what you guys think about this, but I know that a lot of people are hot about this. It's, this is my only thought about it. And I've said this so many times. This is what our society has come to. We make videos like this to go viral. I don't know if this girl has a cooking channel or what it is that she does, but clearly she knew that saying that word, because she's a white woman, was going to get some attention. It was going to go viral. Okay. So I think that is worse than what she said. I think that mentality is worse than what she said because it is a clear indication of how morally inept we are, that this is what we do for attention. This is what we do for attention. And I get some people are saying, well, she should be able to say it because rap songs say it. And if you don't want people saying it, that we shouldn't use it. And, some Black people will say, well, we took back the word and we can say it if we want to say it and we say it with the A. But, I've heard all races say it. And with some races, it's okay. And I notice Asian people say it a lot to each other. They call each other that. I know that's weird, but I hear Asian people saying it to each other. There's just certain, I guess, exceptions to the rule as to when people can say it. And then there's some exceptions where you can't say it. So for me personally, rather than keep up with all the exceptions and all the whatever, I could care less to use that word. There is no purpose in the word for me whatsoever. I don't feel empowered. I don't feel intelligent. I don't feel cool to say it. And the only thing that needs to be said is this video just goes to show how sad society has become. Okay. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and ask anybody if you guys have any comments or questions or things that you want to say before I close out the show for tonight. I will be back on Friday, unless I tell you guys otherwise, with Heather, who's going to be my friend Heather, who's going to be guest co-hosting with me. We are going to talk about some conspiracy stuff. We're not going to talk about, at least I don't think so. We're not going to talk about any political stuff. We, on the side, I love to talk about crime stuff. I love to talk about conspiracy theories. And we're going to talk about it all. This is what we talk about on our girls' trips, in my group text messages. We just love this type of stuff. And I figured Friday is typically a fun show. So we will get together with Heather on Friday, and we will do an all crime conspiracy show. And we have some pretty wild ideas. Heather, she's into some court cases right now that she's watching. You guys know that I have been wrapped up like in Michael Jackson and OJ, a little bit of the Micah Miller case. So we'll be talking about all that stuff. But I want to tell you guys who did join me tonight. Yay, Heather is in. That's Heather. That's Heather B right there. That's her. She's going to be our guest host on Friday. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you guys coming and tuning in on a Tuesday. Suni, I think we'll be back maybe next week. I have to check in with her. She's got her in-laws in town. And obviously she's getting ready to move back stateside, but she will be back with me. Oh yeah. Karen Reed and the Shady Cops. That's one that she wants to talk about. She's been watching the trial. So if you guys have been keeping up with the Karen Reed case, she's going to be talking about that, and she's going to be informing me on what's going on. But thank you guys so much for keeping up with me tonight and joining and participating. I love you guys so much. Have a great Tuesday. We will see you Friday with a fun show. Please make sure, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I saw a lot of new comments today from people I hadn't recognized, but if you're not already subscribed to the Somewhere in the Middle channel, make sure you subscribe and come back on Friday for that show. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
So when you're done getting high,